So today's webinar, we're going to be talking about contact filtering and how you can use all the filtering features within your CRM to help narrow down the list, segment the contacts, and help send them that personalized information that they're needing. What we'll be covering today is, first of all, starting about what filtering is and why it's important. We'll go over the levels of organization that you can use within your account to narrow down and segment the contacts before filtering. And then once we cover the organization, we'll dive into the basic filters and searching options that you can do based on the user fields that your contacts have or any information in their contact record. We'll go through the include filters, which are the contacts that are not usually added into your contact list. And so you can segment categories of the contacts. Then we'll dive into some advanced filtering, which are the adjustments of events you're hosting, emails you're sending, random split and choose filters. Then we'll go into taking action based on this filtered list that you have. And then we'll cover some bonus filtering hacks that you can use to help streamline your filtering and get the contacts what you're looking for. We will be answering any questions at the end. So if you do have any questions, please add them into the chat box or the question box. And if you are watching the recording, just reach out to our team and we'll be happy to help you. My name is Madison Potter. I'm on the client advocacy team and marketing over here at Green Rope. If you have any questions after the webinar, please reach out to me. My email is madison@greenrope.com, or you can reach out to our support team at support@greenrope as well. So filtering is more than just creating these contact lists that you want to segment. It's actually a strategic marketing process. So segmentation is the critical first step for your business to take because, as we all know, your customers are not the same. And really using filtering to identify what speaks with these clients and what is the best approach to work with them, that's the first step in really understanding them and giving them a high level of customer experience that they're needing from your team. And that's why most firms have moved away from this mass marketing, sending their entire contact list an email blast is not working anymore. So they're moving into more segmented marketing in which you can really target those carefully chosen submarkets or even individual customers through the filtering features. So that's what we're going to be covering today, just really how to segment these contacts and how to target them to create those submarkets. So first of all, why filtering is important. So what are the benefits and what are the use cases for filtering? So first of all, filtering helps to segment your contacts. You're allowed to create those targeted lists of either specific contacts or even just groups of contact content. So what are they looking for? Why do they come to your business? Who are they? Where are they located? All those different segments help you understand who your contact list is. Filtering allows you to send the personalized and relevant content to these specific contacts based on the predefined criteria. So your business needs to understand, what kind of content are you trying to send and who are you trying to send it to? And by understanding that, you can really filter for the contacts and send them the content that they initially came to your business looking for. And then filtering is also ideal for gathering the accurate reports. So if you're sending out your mass broadcast to an entire email list, you're not going to get accurate reports because it might show that you have a very low read rate or click rate. And that's not necessarily your content. It might just be that the content is not relevant for most of the audience that you're sending to. So if you segment the contacts and send them information, the reports are going to be more reflective on the accuracy of how the information is being perceived by your target audience. And then filtering and segmenting also helps you set up the automation. You can move contacts between groups, and you can also filter out specific contacts. And lastly, just categorizing your contacts and not just having one big list really just improves your business efficiency overall and shows you who you're working with and how do you best work with them. Before we dive into the filtering, GreenRope does have levels of organization to help structure your account. These levels help you, first of all, categorize and segment the contacts on a broader level. Then you can also use these to enhance your filtering options. So for example, GreenRope structure includes first is groups. Groups are within the group drop-down menu, and they are the main level of organization. They create these buckets in which to house your contacts of specific categories. You can have as many groups as you want in the account. You can also organize these groups into folders to help really narrow down on your business process. The second structure we use is called user-defined fields. These are custom fields that you add into the contacts record or the company's profile, and they add additional information on the contact and who they are. These user fields really help customize the CRM based on what information you are wanting to collect, store, and filter for the contacts. And then lastly, we have our tags. So our tags are just a really quick reference on who the contact is. There is a tag cloud in the contact list, in the contact search view, where you can just have a simple differentiator on who the contact is. So you can filter for tags, but they're more just as a broader, more simple way to search. So now that you have familiar with the levels of organization in your account, we can move more into the complex ways of searching for your contacts. So within the filtering feature, there is so many ways that you can access this. For example, within the main contact view area, along the left, you'll see all of the filtering options. By default, it's going to show the contacts that are in this current group that you're in. Another way would be if you're sending an email broadcast. So within the communicate email dropdown, you would click the 3 send when you're ready to send the email. Here you'll see all the contacts and you can click to edit the filter options. You can also load a saved filter that you're currently working with. Otherwise, just view the list of contacts. Before you send your email, just make sure that all the contacts is showing within the summary box below. So there's many other ways that you can filter for contacts, but these are the top 2 ways. Another way would be, sending an SMS broadcast or other tracking. So we will send out a detailed vlog as well after this with all the ways. Within the SMS campaign would be within the communicate dropdown. So as you send an SMS, you'll see it shows the all contact box. And here again, you can edit the filter options and really segment your list. Right below all of these features, you want to just kind of verify the summary of the contact before you move forward. But this is also accessible within the exporting of the contacts. So let's dive into the basic filter and searches now that you know where to find this area. So along the left, whenever you see the basic filtering, by default, it's going to show the contact within this current group. You can show all contacts. Otherwise, you can use the multiple groups to manually select the specific groups that you are wanting to include. Next, you'll see the filter search section. None means there's no criteria that you're looking for, just includes all the contacts. Any of the following is just your contacts need to meet meet the criteria of any of these options here. So let's say you have different words or different options. If the contact meets at least one or the other, it will be included. If you wanted to meet all of the criteria that you specify, so it needs to match exactly, that would where you'd be all of the following. You can also use the advanced area here just to add more sub-segments. So if then or any of those options here would be within the advanced. So once that you've identified kind of the overall view of the criteria for the search, you can use the drop-down menu here to identify the field that you're wanting to search. So by clicking on the arrow, you'll see all of the fields connected in your account. You'll see contact fields, special fields, user-defined fields, company fields, subscription status, group membership, and the list goes on. So click the drop-down menu and find the field that you are looking to filter for. Based on that field, this second option is going to relate to that field. So for example, if the email contains, if we add anything in there, it's going to have to contain any of those values. We can also do does not contain, so we can remove those values from the search. We can do is, which is an exact email address that we're looking for, or is not. And then based if it's a number or integer, we can do less than or greater than. Another option here, for example, if we were to do the date field, like a birthday, as soon as we add the date field into the top option, the second option is going to change to say on, before, or between a certain date range. And so this updates according to the filters that you set up. So it's pretty in-depth. And then, of course, you'll identify the criteria that you want to look for. And you can also add multiple options here. So if you want to keep adding and streamlining that list, click on the plus sign. So by default, only the valid and active contacts in your account will be showing in this list. Since you can always click on any of these question mark icons to dive deeper into what the different options are, and the caret icon that was showed earlier to open this list. Since you're not charged for any contacts that have unsubscribed or bounced, spam complaints, or invalid emails, these are usually hidden from your list. So within the include area, you can easily filter out the contacts that you don't usually want. For some areas of the account, this option might not be editable. So for example, if you're sending an email out to contacts, you won't be able to include the unsubscribers as they have opted out of your email. The advanced filtering and adjustments area helps you create custom lists for your contacts. This is based more on like the engagement and their workings within your CRM, where the basic that we just covered were more as who the contact is and information in their contact record. So as an addition to the simple searches above, the adjustments area really allows you to add contact or remove contacts from the selection. We're going to be covering the adjustments including event management, email delivery, where are they located, random split and choose, and filtering options. It's a quick note that the order of these filters that we use do affect the end result. So when you're having multiple adjustments throughout the filtering, you can always move them up and down the list to increase the priority of the filters. So first is the attendance filter that you see. So this is really managing the event registrations that are in your account. So if your contact is registered to attend an event, their registration is still pending. Have they checked in or attended your event? Did they not want to attend the event? Were they marked as unsure? Or did they not even respond? You can create filters based on any of these options. So first you would identify the type of contact list that you want to use. So for example, the all contacts, it represents the contacts that you've selected in the filter search. This is going to pull the contacts from all of your accounts, just include all the contacts that might meet this criteria. You can also do one that's called an initial selection, which is the contacts that you've adjusted within your filter search. So when you segment the contacts, this is the initial selection that is going to now pull from. So not all the contacts, more your filtered contacts. Then you'll identify if you want to only include them, to isolate them, or to add them to a contact list. You'll identify the action that you want to specify. So if they attended the event, they checked in, they did not attend, what did they do with your event? And then lastly, you'll identify the event that you are working with. Once you've added this information, the page will reload and bring up a list of contacts that meet your criteria. Next is going to be the delivery filter. So this is based on the emails that you have sent within your account. This specifically the broadcast emails when you send it to a larger group of contacts. So within the delivery filter, you can filter for contacts who were sent an email or not sent an email. If they were sent an email, did they read or click on the email? Otherwise, if they received the email but did not even open it or didn't click on it, you can filter for that as well. So it works pretty similar to the first one where you identify the type of contacts. Then if you want to add, remove, or isolate them from the list, identify the action that the contact did or did not take, and then define the broadcast that you are referring to and want to filter for. Next is the geolocation. So this is using a specific zip code for reference, and it generates a list of contacts that are in a certain mile radius of what you're looking for. So you can identify if the contacts are within a US city or a zip code based on the next zip code that you're working with here. The geolocation allows you to add, remove, or isolate the contacts based on this distance. Next is the random split and choose filter. So based on the current list of contacts on your page, you can randomly narrow down this list to a certain percentage. To split your list, what you'll do is you'll drag the indicator anywhere from 0 to 100%. And this will make the system generate a randomized list of contacts. This is good if you wanted to send off a once-off email or do a random drawing of a bunch of contacts in your account. The random split and choose can help be a streamlined kind of a smaller version of the A/B testing option that we have. Next, we have the pick and choose filter. So this is really good if your lists are around 100 contacts or less. And if you are the person that usually wants to individually select the contacts, you can go down the list. What you'll do is you'll check any of these green options, which will add the contact into the picked list above. Here you can add, remove contacts from here. And then if you want to deselect a contact, you'll just click on the X icon and it'll get added to the list. And then there is a simple filtering option here if you want to narrow down this list of contacts before manually selecting them. So now that we've gone through a lot of the filtering options and you have narrowed down your list, it's time to think about what kind of actions you are wanting to take. How are you wanting to modify and update the contacts within your CRM? So you can perform different actions on these filters and the targeted list that we created. And this would be within the actions heading along the bottom left. So if you keep scrolling down past the filters, this is going to be the last option here. Click on the question mark icon just to kind of dive deeper into each of the filters and see if it's exactly what you're looking for and the action it can take. Based on the filter that you just set up, you can save this as filter or make it a default filter as well. Otherwise, if you're just jumping into the page and you want to load a saved filter, you can do that within the action section. This really helps if your constantly using the same 2 or 3 filters based on your contacts. So just streamlining that process of going through the filtering. Then based on the list of contacts, you can also modify the groups. So you use the modify groups to either add them to a group, remove them from a group. You can replace them into a group, or you can create a brand new group as well for the contacts. The reset filter changes everything that we've worked on with the filtering list back to the defaults. So it just removes any changes that you made. The tags allow you to add a tag, specific tag reference, as we mentioned in the beginning, to this list of contacts. You can create a new tag, add a tag, or remove a tag from here. Let's say we have multiple contacts with the same person. You know, usually people have multiple email addresses or slight variations in their names. This option allows you to merge the filtered contacts into one specific contact. So what you will do is you go into the filter search section, maybe say first name contains John, email contains, John at, and then when it pulls up a list of all the contacts that are the same person, you can merge them into the same contact record. This area, the modify contact section, allows you to just modify in bulk the specific user fields within the contact section. So if you can mass update a specific user field, clear a user field, really just modify the contacts on this section here. Then you can also email the contacts from this page. So from the list of generated filters that we pulled the list, you can email the contacts. So the bonus filtering hacks, some sneaky ways to find exactly what you're looking for. So if there's ever been a one-word letter or a specific name that you can't quite get, but you know that it starts with A, and you know it ends with an M, but you just can't remember exactly what it is. This is where the filtering hacks will help you with that. So for example, we have the % symbol. So within the filter search section, the % symbol helps us find a variable number of matches. So anything between A and M, it includes all those variables in between to find your search. So for example, if I were to add GR % green, it would find green rope or good night or green rope. Otherwise, if I were to do a green % N, it would find good night. So it finds any variables that could be connected with the letters here. So you would say email contains, or you can say first name, any of those options here. The next option, an underscore, is just a single letter placeholder where the % sign was just kind of a multiple variables. Underscore is just a single match. So for example, if you were trying to find green rope, you would do 2 underscores N, which will find green, but it will not find good night because it's trying to find the single placeholders here. And let's say you had a birthday that you were trying to find. The format for birthdays and dates in general in the account is year, 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 month, month, day, day. And the underscore also works as for the date placeholders as well. So if you don't remember the month or the day, but you remember the year, you can add the placeholder under those as well. And if there's no date stored in the contacts record, you can use 9999 to find that as well. So for example, if we're trying to find all the contacts in February, we do 4 underscores, 02 for February, and then 2 underscores. And it'll bring up a list of contacts that were born in that month. So I know we covered a lot, and the idea of dividing a market up into homogeneous segments and then targeting each of those with a distinct product or message. It's not just about the filtering anymore. It's at the heart of the marketing theory. So really understanding what kind of groups that you're looking for and what kind of filters would really align with what you're trying to achieve will really help not only your marketing, but also establish your business and make it more aligned with moving contacts down the funnel and creating that experience with them. So before we answer a few questions, I see some of them are coming in. Let's review some quick concepts of what we covered. So first we have the levels of organization. So these are the groups, the user fields, and then the tags. We covered basic filter and searching. So the main method of segmenting, and this is based on the contact's information. And then you can filter on any field and include the hacks into there as well. Since you're not charged for unsubscribes, bounce, or spam complainers, you can use the include area to add or remove these contacts from your list. The adjustments filtering is more of that advanced searching, and this is based on the engagement that your contacts had with your account. So you can add or remove them from the filters. It streamlines the contacts based on their actions. And then you can create specific reference points, such as did they attend events, emails you sent out, or geolocation, and just select those reference points to filter further. Then you can take action, so you can create and use custom filters. You would add automation. You can move contacts between groups. And then you can also modify the contacts in bulk based on the list that you've segmented. A few of the bonus hacks is the % symbol finds variables in between different numbers. The underscore finds a single variable, adds as a placeholder. And then the birthdays, you can isolate days, months, or years because it is in that format. You can use the underscore to replace any of those options. So if you do need any help finding the right filters, please let us know if you have any questions. This is a quick picture of our team. That's our CEO, Lars, in the middle, Bjorn, our COO, on the right, Nor, Hunter on the left, and then a couple hands in there of our team. So you can email us over at support@greenrope.com or give us a call at 442-333-7577. Within our help section, there is a few more resources, and then we will be posting a detailed version of this webinar on our blog at greenrope.com/blog. Well, thank you so much for your time, and let's answer any questions that you have.